Stop everything. Tom Cruise, yes, the Tom Cruise, just dropped to one knee in front of Ana de Armas in the middle of a crowded Hollywood party. And what she said next, it wasn't a yes, it wasn't a no. It left everyone in the room stunned. Cameras were flashing, jaws dropped, and the internet exploded within seconds. You won't believe her reaction. This is the moment Hollywood will never forget. Ana de Armas has always been admired for her poise, intelligence, and the effortless grace she brings to every red carpet and interview. But in this moment, under the blinding lights of a glamorous Hollywood party, she showed the world exactly why her reputation isn't just hype, it's reality. Everyone in the room expected something dramatic. After all, this was Hollywood. The scripts are written for grand gestures. The fainting, the gasps, the theatrical yes, shouted across a room full of cameras. But Ana had other plans. She looked at Tom Cruise with a calm, steady gaze, and the entire room seemed to pause. Even the music felt like it softened, as if the world itself was holding its breath. Tom, I didn't see this coming, she said, her voice measured yet playful, a tone that made everyone lean in closer. This is the lot. Those simple words carried a weight that was impossible to ignore. They weren't a rejection, but neither were they an immediate acceptance. They were honesty, a rare and refreshing truth in a world so often obsessed with dramatics. Her reaction caught everyone off guard. For a moment, even the most seasoned Hollywood observers seemed unsure how to respond. Social media users watching the live streams or clips immediately paused, replaying the moment multiple times. People had expected spectacle, maybe even chaos. Instead, Ana offered something far more captivating: authenticity. She showed that a monumental moment doesn't always need to be explosive to be unforgettable. It could be subtle, thoughtful, and still leave everyone talking for days. Ana's words reflected a delicate balance of emotions. There was clear surprise. She hadn't anticipated this proposal. There was admiration. She was clearly moved by Tom's courage and sincerity. And there was careful consideration. She wasn't about to make a life-changing decision in the middle of a crowded party under intense scrutiny. That mix of emotions made her reaction relatable, human, and incredibly endearing. The audience couldn't help but feel connected to her in that moment. It was a powerful reminder that even celebrities, who seem larger than life, experience real, complex feelings in real time. The reaction on social media was immediate and explosive. Clips of Ana's calm, poised response went viral within minutes. Fans worldwide flooded platforms with comments, gifs, and speculation. What would she do next? Would she say yes in private later? Or was this a signal that she needed time to think? The uncertainty fueled endless debates and conversations. Memes and reaction videos multiplied, with people praising Ana for keeping her composure, while also leaving a cliffhanger that no Hollywood movie could match. Celebrities, journalists, and fans alike couldn't get enough of the moment. Analysts dissected her words, her facial expressions, even the subtle gestures of her hands. Everyone agreed on one thing. Ana de Armas had delivered one of the most memorable reactions in recent Hollywood history. She proved that elegance and honesty could outshine any dramatics. And in doing so, she captured the admiration and hearts of millions. In that single moment, Ana didn't just respond to a proposal. She created a cultural talking point, a viral sensation, and a lesson in grace under pressure. Her measured response left an impression that would resonate far beyond that Hollywood party, reminding the world that authenticity often speaks louder than theatrics, and that real emotions are always worth watching. While Ana's response remained calm and thoughtfully measured, Tom Cruise's reaction became a defining moment of its own, one that quietly stole the spotlight. Known across the world for his intense action roles, fearless stunts, and unstoppable on-screen energy, Tom revealed a very different side of himself in that instant, a side rarely seen, but deeply powerful. Instead of reacting with impatience or attempting to control the moment, he did something unexpected. He slowed everything down. Tom smiled softly, nodded in understanding, and spoke words that instantly changed the atmosphere of the room. "Take your time," he said gently. "I just wanted you to know how I feel." There was no pressure in his voice, no demand for an answer, no attempt to turn the moment into a spectacle. It was calm, it was sincere, and it was deeply human. For a man often portrayed as larger than life, this was a refreshingly grounded response. This was classic Tom Cruise, not the action hero, not the box office giant, but the man behind the legend. Respectful, confident, emotionally aware. He didn't reach for dramatic gestures or rehearse lines. He didn't try to win the crowd or control the narrative. Instead, he gave Ana something far more meaningful: space, respect, and honesty. That response alone made the moment unforgettable. The room, once buzzing with anticipation, softened. The tension transformed into admiration. People exchanged glances, clearly moved by how effortlessly Tom handled such an emotionally charged situation. It wasn't loud, it wasn't flashy, but it resonated more deeply than any grand Hollywood stunt ever could. Almost instantly, fans online began reacting, not just to the proposal, but to Tom's reaction afterward. Social media platforms filled with praise, with users calling his response mature, classy, and a masterclass in respect. Many pointed out how rare it is to see vulnerability and patience displayed so openly, especially by someone at Tom's level of fame. Comments poured in saying things like, "This is how real love looks," and he didn't ask for an answer, he offered his truth. And that's exactly what this moment showed the world. In an industry built on image, performance, and constant scrutiny, two global superstars shared something incredibly genuine. It was a deeply personal exchange, yet it unfolded in front of cameras, fans, and the relentless spotlight of the media. Still, neither of them lost their authenticity. There was no rush, no demand for resolution. Just two people standing in the middle of a moment that felt real, unscripted, and emotionally honest. For once, Hollywood didn't feel artificial. It felt human. Tom Cruise's reaction reminded everyone watching that love, respect, and emotional intelligence don't need to be loud to be powerful. Sometimes, the quietest response carries the most meaning. And in that moment, as Ana stood thoughtful and Tom stood patient, the world witnessed something rare, a genuine connection that didn't need to prove itself to anyone. Of course, in today's hyper-connected world, no Hollywood moment, especially one this shocking, stays private for long. Within hours, the story had escaped the walls of that glamorous party and taken over the internet. News outlets rushed to break the story. Headlines flashed across screens worldwide, and social media platforms erupted with nonstop discussion. Short clips of the proposal, screenshots of Ana's expression, and slowed-down replays of Tom's reaction spread like wildfire. Memes, reaction videos, and trending hashtags flooded every platform imaginable. People simply couldn't stop talking about it. Ana's unexpected response became the center of attention, with fans replaying her words again and again, trying to decode every pause, every smile, every subtle gesture. At the same time, Tom Cruise's calm and patient reaction earned just as much praise. Many viewers said it was refreshing to see a moment that didn't feel scripted or forced, a rare instance where Hollywood felt real rather than manufactured. Fans are divided, but deeply engaged. On one side, countless people admired Ana's honesty and emotional intelligence. They called her the voice of reason, in an industry often criticized for impulsive decisions and rush romances. Supporters praised her for not allowing public pressure to dictate a life-changing response. For them, Ana represented strength, self-awareness, and the courage to pause, even when the world is watching. On the other side were the romantics. These fans rooted passionately for a classic Hollywood fairy tale. They believed the chemistry was undeniable and hoped that Ana would eventually say yes. Perhaps in private, away from the cameras. They shared edits, fan art, and emotional posts imagining what the next chapter of the story might look like. To them, this wasn't just celebrity news. It was a modern love story unfolding in real time. And then there was the media. While outlets eagerly dissected every detail for headlines and analysis, even the most skeptical commentators couldn't ignore the authenticity of the moment. What could have easily turned into pure sensationalism instead sparked meaningful conversations about emotional maturity, boundaries, and respect. Talk shows debated not whether Ana should say yes, but whether her response set a new standard for handling pressure in public relationships. Soon, celebrities themselves joined the conversation. Tweets and posts poured in from fellow actors, directors, and industry insiders. Many praised both Ana and Tom for their composure, calling the moment graceful, refreshingly human, and a reminder that real emotions don't need a script. Some even admitted that watching the clip made them reflect on how rarely vulnerability is shown so honestly in public spaces. What made this story stand out was its emotional depth. Instead of being remembered as just another viral celebrity moment, it became a lesson, one about patience, mutual respect, and the power of sincerity. In a world obsessed with instant answers and dramatic conclusions, this moment dared to slow things down. It showed that uncertainty isn't weakness, and giving someone space can be an act of love. For many viewers, that's why the story lingered long after the headlines faded. It wasn't just about a proposal. It was about two people navigating a deeply personal moment under the harshest spotlight imaginable, and doing so with dignity. And in the end, that authenticity is what truly captivated the world. So, what's the real takeaway from this unforgettable night? At its core, this moment reminded the world of something simple yet powerful. Authenticity always wins. Ana de Armas could have followed the expected Hollywood script. She could have screamed, cried, or collapsed into a dramatic reaction designed to dominate headlines. Instead, she chose honesty. She stayed true to herself, her emotions, and her instincts. And that decision is exactly why millions of people connected so deeply with her response. In a world filled with filters, performances, and pressure to react a certain way, Ana's authenticity felt refreshing and incredibly real. The second lesson is just as important. Patience and respect are not weaknesses. They are strengths. Tom Cruise didn't demand an answer. He didn't try to control the moment or rush Ana into a decision that could change her life forever. He expressed his feelings openly, then stepped back and allowed her the space to process them. In today's fast-paced world, where instant gratification is expected and emotions are often rushed. This moment stood out as a rare reminder that love deserves time. Real emotions cannot be forced, and meaningful decisions should never be made under pressure. Together, their interaction showed emotional maturity on both sides. Ana demonstrated self-awareness and courage by being honest in the moment. Tom showed confidence and emotional intelligence by respecting her response. It wasn't flashy, it wasn't loud, but it was deeply impactful. And sometimes, the quietest moments are the ones that leave the strongest impression. This moment also reminds us that celebrity stories, despite their glamour, fame, and public attention, can still offer real-life lessons. Beneath the headlines and viral clips are human beings experiencing genuine emotions. Sometimes, it's not about the ring, the cameras, or the crowd. It's about those few seconds where truth, vulnerability, and respect come together. Those seconds speak louder than any headline ever could. And that's why this story continues to resonate. It wasn't just entertainment. It was a reflection of how people can handle emotionally charged moments with grace. It sparked conversations not just about romance, but about boundaries, emotional honesty, and the importance of taking time before making life-changing decisions. As for Ana and Tom, the story isn't over yet. In fact, it may only be beginning. Fans around the world are eagerly waiting to see what happens next. Will Ana say yes in private, away from the cameras and public pressure? Or was this moment simply a chapter in a more complex and meaningful journey? No one knows for sure, and that uncertainty is part of what makes the story so compelling. One thing, however, is undeniable. The world witnessed a moment of true honesty, mutual respect, and emotional grace. A moment that reminded us that even in the spotlight, sincerity still matters. And years from now, long after the headlines fade, this night will be remembered not for its shock, but for its humanity.